Hey friends, we're back on the road again. We left our friends Bob and Lynn, their house. They were so gracious and putting us up for a couple of nights, and Bob and I went hiking up on that mountain. If you didn't see that, you need to go back and watch that episode. And we went down to, what was that little town we went down to? Salida. Neat little town right on a river. People rafting out there on it.
Arkansas River.
On the Arkansas River, yeah. Which it runs through Tulsa, if I remember correctly. And you can see that on our video on Tulsa that we were there earlier this year. But anyway, we're on the road now to Bishop's Castle. And if you're like me, I'd never heard of Bishop's Castle before. It's not a castle in the sense of British nobility or Scottish nobility. It's a guy here in Colorado that's been building onto it, building more by himself for like 40 years or something, a long time. And anyway, we're going to go check that out, see what there is to see, and you'll get to see it as well. We appreciate you riding with us. I apologize, some of the video that you'll see when we're on these mountain roads, you know, if you're not the lead dog, the view never changes, and we'll be stuck behind a car or truck. Don't look at the car or truck. Look beyond it. Look to the left. Look to the right. See the scenery around. It's not about the car in front of you. It's about the scenery around you. So anyway, hey, we appreciate you being with us. Hit the like button if you like our content. Share it if you would, please. And drop us a comment. Let us know what you think. And if you enjoyed the video, if you want to see more like that. And don't forget, you know, we've got that other channel, Take a Breath. And we'll put a link to that in the description section so that you can check that out as well. Bishop Castle is an honest-to-goodness stone castle that one man built over the course of his lifetime. We're going to take you throughout the castle and even meet the fella who built this humongous castle. Colorado has an unending supply of beautiful scenery, fresh air, and interesting places. Bishop Castle is one that was not on our radar, but we were told about it, and it's right on our way as we head towards Kansas.
We look to the mountains. We don't care if it's only a dream. Nothing is really what it seems anyway. Now little by little, in the twilight's gentle flow, in the dance of fading light we grow. And all the warnings, when you wanna be loved by everyone, you get fooled by anyone so easily. I'm lost. You say you're tired, so am I. But without you, I'm lost. I'm lost.
Located just off Highway 165 and southwest of Pueblo, Colorado, the castle has an interesting history. Jim Bishop purchased the property back in 1959 when he was 15 years old. And get this, for $450. Today, you're lucky if you can buy a steak dinner with your significant other for $450, right? Just kidding. But everybody knows that the prices of prices has been going up, going through the roof for the last few years. I think the amazing thing is not the initial price of the property, it's the fact that a 15-year-old had saved $450 and was ambitious enough to have a life plan. You know, it used to be that by the time young men were 15 years old, they were wanting to join the military or an apprentice program or cutting the neighbor's grass in order to save money. Today, you have to pry a 15-year-old's fingers off their Xbox or their PlayStation and threaten them to cut the grass. Let us know your thoughts on that in the comment section. Anyway, young entrepreneur Jim bought the 2.5 acres of land situated at 9,000 feet and began what evolved into his master plan. Now, if 2.5 acres seems small to you, stop for a second and see the big picture. This land, this 2.5 acres, is surrounded on 3 sides by the majestic San Isabel National Forest. No one would be building in his backyard. For the next 10 years, Jim and his dad worked on clearing land for a family cabin. Rocks were plentiful for a stone cabin, and they began building during the summer months when mortar would not have a chance to freeze. With so many rocks available, and after building the fireplace and enclosing a water cistern in rock, friends and neighbors commented that it looked like they were building a castle. A castle. This sparked something within Jim's mind, and he decided that yes, he was going to build a castle. His father, though, was not interested in this idea and left Jim to work on it on his own. I kind of imagine that he thought Jim would grow weary and give up on the insanity of building a castle, but Jim was much more determined than Dad thought, and he kept building. No blueprints, no plans, no how to build a castle manual, just a determined young man who figured it out as he went along.
Bishop, my name is Gene. You did a tremendous work here, man. This is pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Very cool. We look forward to going in and going up to the top and checking things out.
Good.
You did an excellent job, sir.
You're always welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Jim grew up working at his dad's ornamental iron shop and would use some of that knowledge to help in this new adventure. I want for you to imagine this. You're in your late 20s and you're building this castle by yourself. You assemble a lumber mill, begin collecting rocks and hauling them uphill to your building site. You cut down the trees and mill them into the lumber that you're going to need. You dig the foundation holes. Get this, some of the foundation holes are 12 feet deep. You mix all of the tons and tons of mortar used, you build scaffolding, and by yourself, you begin to build. You do this during good weather months for the rest of your life. This is an amazing feat that I don't know has ever been done by anyone else anywhere. To put this in perspective, the highest point is 160 feet. That's almost 49 meters off the ground. That's like a 16-story building built, again, by one man. The grand ballroom is definitely impressive, probably my favorite of the castle, but the dragon is probably most amazing. Made of stainless steel warming plates that were headed for a landfill, they were given to Jim. Not only did he build the dragon, he also made it breathe fire. Someone donated a burner that was once used in a hot air balloon. Jim repurposed it and installed it in the dragon's throat. Now, how's that for wow? The building of the castle has been funded by a gift shop that Jim's wife ran for many years and by donations. It's free to visit the castle. Jim wanted it that way. He wanted every middle-class, ordinary person to be able to bring their families somewhere that all could afford and all would enjoy. Donations are greatly appreciated. Through the years, there have been some battles with legal entities. Signs on the property tell some of the stories. Let me read for you what they say. When you first park your car and are approaching the castle, there is a sign that says, "Stop, enter at your own risk, private property." You must read this sign before entering. We are not responsible for your safety. We are not responsible for your physical, mental, or emotional well-being. Bishop Castle is under construction. Proceed past this point with extreme caution. You must keep children and pets under control at all times. We reserve our right to freedom of speech and expression. You might experience foul language. You might experience strongly expressive behavior. We reserve our right to refuse entry to anyone at any time. If at any time the management of this property feels that you do not agree or have not read this sign, you will be asked to leave. If you are asked by the management of this property to leave, you must do so immediately. If you do not agree with any of these conditions, do not enter. If you do not agree, you are trespassing. Enter at your own risk. I guess that's certainly covering your backside, right? Another sign that I saw on the property said, "Attention, read all signs. All adults must sign our guest book. It is a release of liability on the Bishop Castle. Children must be with an adult, no climbing on anything, stay off of sand pile, construction area, put trash in barrels, keep all children and pets under control, no drunks. You are welcome if you agree with everything. If not, no trespassing." In my opinion, unreasonable and unfair laws forced me to write this sign by my hard-earned power. Signed, Jim Bishop, Castle Builder. And then beneath that, it reads, "Jim Bishop is creating, by the help of God, with his mind and body, this monumental art form, for the good of all, open always, on a true donations basis." The longest sign that I read, and I guess this one kind of tells some of the story of problems that Jim has had, reads as following. "The local government don't want you people to enjoy this free attraction. For many years they tried but failed to oppress and control my God-given talent to hand-build this great monument to hard-working poor people, always open free. They could not control with zoning and other petty rules, so in August '02, they tried to bankrupt and ruin and slander the Bishop family name by pursuing 35 criminal counts on false allegations. My God-given unalienable rights set forth in the Constitution have been violated. Article 8, no guilt till proven, so no excessive bail, no cruel punishment. A $50,000 cash-only ransom was placed on my head. I am no flight risk, no court convictions, I am not a criminal. At trial, a doctor, a forensic pro, testified that no gunshots in the castle and the prosecutor incompetent. The jury ruled Jim Bishop not guilty on all charges. Yet when sentencing Dan Bishop on one simple misdemeanor, the judge ruled that the sheriff picked one of Jim's guns. That is court-ordered theft. Help."
Okay, I am at the highest point of Bishop's Castle. I went up a spiral metal staircase. I'm so high up that just the wind is shaking the structure that I am on. Or it could be my nerves that are shaking the structure that I'm on. But let me show you the view of where I am at.
You can use your imagination to see some of the struggles that this man and his family have endured while trying to build a monument that will certainly outlive us all.
Alright, well, I'll call y'all later, okay? You'll see the videos later. Alright? Love you, bye. Bye.
I know there are more than one way to do this, but I'm going to try to get down the safest way. I know there's a quicker way, but I'm going the safer route.
While the boats are leaking, soon the walls will be giving in. Anytime now, anytime now. Another shrug of the shoulders. I guess I'll be walking home in the rain. I lost you, but then you were mine again. Just like the wind and the fire, wind and the fire. We forget about everything, every true remarkable thing. No wonder we lost. Go figure, coin toss. You say you're tired, so am I. But without
Okay, we just got back in the car and we are on the road again. Bishop's Castle, that was really, really neat. And to think that one man, and you saw him in the video there, Mr. Bishop, he built all that with his own two hands. I mean, holy cow. I mean, I find it hard to build a birdhouse, and this man built all that, every stone, all that, he built it. And I'm going to put a link in the description section of this video to a website that they have that explains how he did all that. And you can actually see interviews with his son, and it's quite interesting, fascinating how he did it. Storm went through at some point recently, and either hail broke one of the windows out. And I think I showed you a picture there of a broken window up in the top of that great room. And we're standing there, and like a lot of, and I think it's safety glass because there's little small pieces, but it starts falling all the way down to the floor of that great room. And when we left, when we're outside talking to some folks, we could hear more of it falling in there. So, I don't know. I wish him the very best, and I hope it lasts forever. It's a great monument to a man who was determined and wanted to do it on his own. And doggone it, nobody's going to tell me I can't. All right, we are on the road to Dodge City, Kansas. Yeehaw, cowboy. And we're going to be staying in a historic house just outside of Dodge on the west side in Cimarron. And I can't wait to show that to you a little bit later. In fact, that's probably going to be in our next video. Yeah, this video is going to get you there. And I'll tell you what, I'll probably show you the outside of the house that we're staying in. It's a historic, I think it was a bed and breakfast. It was a stop for stagecoaches back in the 1800s, cowboy days. And our next episode, the one on Dodge City, it's sponsored by the folks that own the Airbnb that we're going to be staying at there. So you'll get to see the outside of this video, and in the next video, you're going to get to see Dodge City. I put a link to the Bishop Castle website in the More section beneath this episode's title. I also put a link to our second channel in there as well. As always, we appreciate having you on the journey with us. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share. Friends, we hope that you're having an amazing week.